Elizabeth Holmes. The name itself crackled with electricity in Silicon Valley. A young woman barely out of her teens dared to dream of revolutionizing healthcare. Her company, Theranos, promised a future where a single drop of blood could unlock a universe of medical information. Investors, captivated by her vision and unwavering conviction, lined up to fund her audacious quest. The media, hungry for the next Steve Jobs, painted her as a visionary, a genius poised to disrupt an industry. Elizabeth Holmes, with her piercing blue eyes and Steve Jobs-inspired black turtlenecks, became a Silicon Valley icon. Holmes' origin story was the stuff of Silicon Valley legend. She dropped out of Stanford University at 19, driven by a burning desire to change the world. Her fear of needles, a deeply personal motivator, fueled her ambition to create a less invasive, more accessible form of blood testing. She assembled a board of directors stacked with political heavyweights and industry titans, their presence lending credibility and gravitas to her fledgling company. The stage was set for a meteoric rise, a tale of ambition, innovation, and the unwavering belief in the power of technology to reshape our world. Elizabeth Holmes possessed an uncanny ability to captivate and inspire. Her charisma was palpable, her intelligence undeniable. She spoke with a quiet intensity, her voice a low, almost hypnotic monotone. Investors, seduced by her vision and her unwavering self-belief, opened their coffers. She secured partnerships with industry giants like Walgreens, eager to be at the forefront of the healthcare revolution she promised. The media couldn't get enough of her. Holmes carefully cultivated an aura of secrecy around Theranos. She claimed the technology was too valuable, too vulnerable to corporate espionage, to be shared freely. Employees were required to sign strict non-disclosure agreements, discouraged from discussing their work even amongst themselves. This secrecy, while raising some eyebrows, only seemed to heighten the intrigue. It fed into the narrative of a company on the cusp of a groundbreaking discovery, a company that had to protect its secrets at all costs. Behind the carefully constructed facade of success, cracks began to appear. Whispers of problems within Theranos started to circulate. Former employees, bound by their NDAs but deeply troubled by what they had witnessed, began to share their concerns. The technology, they claimed, simply didn't work as promised. Results were inconsistent, unreliable, and potentially dangerous. The whispers grew louder, fueled by a growing sense of unease within the industry. Journalists, initially enamored by Holmes and her promises, began to dig deeper. John Carreyrou, a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter at the Wall Street Journal, received a tip from a former Theranos employee. Intrigued and disturbed by what he heard, Carreyrou embarked on a relentless pursuit of the truth, determined to uncover what lay beneath the surface of this Silicon Valley darling. His investigation, fraught with legal threats and attempts at intimidation, would ultimately expose the truth about Theranos and bring down its once untouchable founder. Tyler Shultz, a former Theranos lab technician and grandson of former Secretary of State George Shultz, became a pivotal figure in the Theranos saga. Despite immense pressure from his family and fears of legal repercussions, Shultz decided to speak out. He contacted Carreyrou, providing him with crucial information about the inaccuracies and inconsistencies plaguing Theranos' blood testing technology. His courage, in defying not only a powerful company but also his own family, proved instrumental in unraveling the web of deception. Shultz's decision to blow the whistle on Theranos was not an easy one. He faced intense backlash from Holmes and her loyal supporters. He was subjected to legal threats and personal attacks. His integrity and motives questioned. Yet he stood firm, his commitment to the truth unwavering. His story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of whistleblowers in holding powerful institutions accountable and ensuring that the truth, however uncomfortable, is brought to light. Carreyrou's first exposé on Theranos published in the Wall Street Journal in October 2015, sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley and beyond. The article, meticulously researched and meticulously documented, exposed the flaws in Theranos' technology and the company's efforts to conceal the truth. Holmes, initially dismissive of the allegations, found herself on the defensive. The carefully constructed facade of the visionary entrepreneur began to crumble. As Carreyrou continued to publish his findings, the walls began to close in on Holmes and Theranos. Regulators descended on the company, launching investigations into its practices. Investors, once so eager to be a part of Holmes's revolution, began to distance themselves. The media, once captivated by her story, now turned a critical eye on her every move. The illusion was shattered, the truth exposed. The fallout from the Theranos scandal was swift and brutal. The company, once valued at $9 billion, collapsed. Holmes, facing multiple lawsuits and federal criminal charges, was banned from the blood testing industry for a decade. Her story, once a source of inspiration, became a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the seductive power of a good story. In 2022, Holmes was found guilty on 4 counts of fraud and conspiracy. She was sentenced to over 11 years in prison, a stark reminder that even in the world of high-stakes innovation, actions have consequences. The Theranos saga became a defining moment for Silicon Valley, forcing a long-overdue conversation about the industry's culture of secrecy, its willingness to overlook red flags in pursuit of profit, and its responsibility to prioritize ethical conduct alongside technological advancement. The Theranos scandal was not just a story of corporate greed and deception. It was a story about human fallibility, the allure of power, and the devastating consequences of prioritizing ambition above all else. Holmes's relentless pursuit of success, her willingness to cut corners and silence dissent, ultimately came at a steep price. She lost her company, her reputation, and her freedom. But the human cost of the Theranos scandal extended far beyond Holmes herself. Patients, relying on Theranos' flawed blood tests, received inaccurate results that potentially impacted their health and medical decisions. Employees, caught in the crossfire, lost their jobs and their faith in a leader they once admired. The Theranos story serves as a stark reminder that behind every headline-grabbing scandal, there are real people whose lives are irrevocably changed. The Theranos scandal sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley, shaking the very foundations of an industry built on innovation, disruption, and the unwavering belief in the power of technology to change the world. It forced a long-overdue reckoning with the industry's move fast and break things mentality, its culture of secrecy, and its often uncritical embrace of charismatic founders. In the wake of the scandal, there were calls for greater transparency, stricter regulations, and a renewed focus on ethical conduct. The question remained, would Silicon Valley learn from its mistakes, or would the allure of the next big thing, the next billion-dollar idea, continue to overshadow the importance of integrity and accountability? The Theranos story offers invaluable lessons for entrepreneurs, investors, and anyone caught up in the whirlwind of technological advancement. It underscores the importance of due diligence, the need for skepticism, and the dangers of blindly trusting in charismatic leaders. It highlights the ethical responsibility of innovators to prioritize the well-being of their users and the integrity of their work above profits and personal gain. Perhaps most importantly, the Theranos saga serves as a stark reminder that true success cannot be measured solely in terms of financial gain or technological disruption. It must also encompass ethical conduct, social responsibility, and a commitment to using innovation to create a better, more equitable world. The story of Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos is a cautionary tale for the ages, a reminder that the line between ambition and deception can be perilously thin, It is a story about the seductive power of a good story, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the importance of holding powerful institutions accountable. Yet, even as we learn from the mistakes of the past, we must not lose sight of the power of innovation to drive progress and improve lives. The Theranos saga, for all its darkness, should not dampen our enthusiasm for technological advancement. Instead, it should serve as a catalyst for a more ethical, more responsible, and ultimately more sustainable approach to innovation, one that prioritizes people, integrity, and the greater good alongside profits and technological breakthroughs.